Good morning, everybody. Kicking it retro here today for our newest Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Wi-Fi battle. And today is a match versus a gentleman, a man who I have played so many gold, silver, crystal, TGB dual Wi-Fi battles with, and red, blue, and yellow. As evidenced by his team, he is rocking the classic Raichu and classic Feraligatr. You know, we live in a time where you can go watch an upload from some of your favorite creators, Angel of the Night, Xenon3120, and NecroStevo. Crazy that we live in that timeline. But let's not waste too much time. We've got those two classic retro Pokemon on the other side. If you want to jump directly into the battle, click that timestamp up on the top right. Thank you guys for all the support with the streams and content as of late. We are still rocking that amazing Miraidon Bruxish team with the Absorb Ball Miraidon. My opponent has a very interesting team. He's got the Miraidon alongside the Raichu, so he can boost the Raichu alongside the Lightning Rod and have kind of like a mitigation to a second Miraidon, sort of kind of giving it that special attack off the Lightning Rod. He's also got the Tailwind support to work alongside Miraidon and Rain to go along with it with Sheer Force Feraligatr and Rillaboom with the grassy terrain. This team is going to be not only evidently tough, I've played Xander in many Wi-Fi battles in older generations, so I know exactly what to expect going into this. And let me tell you, I've got the tunes to match the vibe. As always, if you know the music that we're kicking in today's show, drop a comment down below and let me know. I give you a hint, it's one of my favorite genres. You've heard the music from this many times before. This will be no shock to you. Let's go ahead and electrify this battle with these amazing tunes. Let's go ahead and jump directly to the battle. He is leading off with Tornadus and Rillaboom, as I decided to lead off with Incineroar and Whimsicott. My thought process here is I need to get my Prankster out in the same vein as he gets his out. There's kind of no point to fake out into the Tornadus, predicting him to most likely have the Covert Cloak. He could fake out the Incineroar, but I could easily just turn the Whimsicott into Ghost and continue to make my plays. I really want to fake out into the Torn, but there's really no point. I would do better just going for the Flare Blitz, predicting him to fake out my Whimsicott, go ahead and turn it into Ghost. We're going Ghost! God, I miss Danny Phantom. One of the best cartoons of all time. We're going to go ahead and, of course, go into that Ghost typing. And now that we're in that Ghost typing, he cannot fake us out with the Rillaboom, as we now set up the Tailwind of our own, as our Pokemon is a little bit faster than the Tornadus. The Tornadus decides to taunt the Whimsicott, which wouldn't have worked out, because I also carry the Covert Cloak, as we go ahead, and he just sacrifices his Rillaboom off to the Flare Blitz, or so I thought. However, it is designed or effort value to live it on bare minimum, which I'm not surprised. The high horsepower does not do enough to the Incineroar, as we do sit okay after Leftovers Recovered. We'll get that grassy terrain on the next turn. Rillaboom is sitting very pretty. I'm wondering if we can knock him out from this range if he is Assault Vested, or if we want to keep Incineroar for later and get off and Intimidate later. We could easily just U-turn here. I think the idea is to go ahead and knock out the Rillaboom, as the Torn is going to have to go down at some point, because I really don't want the matchup of him setting up Tailwind against my Miraidon. We cannot Helping Hand after the taunt, so we were going to do that. I'm not sure why we would have done that, as we do outspeed the Rillaboom for sure, even after a Tailwind, because Whimsicott is stupid fast, as he just goes for the Grassy Glide into the Whimsicott. Now being Ghost type, it is neutral, and the Moonblast luckily does take it out. So even if he was Assault Vest Rillaboom, we brought him down to a range where we could take him out. From this range, Incineroar is going to go for a Flare Blitz. It is not going to drop the Torn. It's going to bring the Torn on the brink of death. And like I said, at some point the Miraidon and or the Raichu is going to come in. Probably the Miraidon alongside the Raichu to boost the Raichu up with the Lightning Rod and freely discharge the board at his leisure, or Electro Drift into the Raichu to boost it up in case I have Wide Guard. Spoiler alert, I do not. He decides to bring in the Miraidon. Also, I apologize in advance, folks, for sounding really nasally. My sinuses have been driving me absolutely crazy lately. You know, we're getting into the time we're almost getting into fall, where the leaves are going to fall, and then the sinuses are going to be even worse at that point. Lander is something I really want to bring in, but I kind of want to mitigate and watch the Miraidon and see if he is going to Terrastalize into Fairy, or maybe possibly the Raichu will. We are sitting on a turn here trying to figure out what we want to do. We decide to U-turn Incineroar, even though I feel like from this range we probably die to anything, even with our Assault Vest. We most likely die to anything that the Miraidon wants to go for. We are going to see a terastallization on his side. It is going to be the Miraidon. Is it going to be electric or fairy? It is going to turn into the electric, which is kind of good and kind of bad all at the same time. I do have the Landers, I do have the Tailwind, I've just really got to watch my plays here. The Tornadus does decide to protect on this turn as he protects himself, as now the Electro Drift is going to come through and most likely eviscerate the Incineroar out of the game. That's exactly what he decides to do. I don't know if he just thought I would swap in something else. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Whimsicott is to a point. I'm just going to go ahead and go for a Moonblast. Does a little small chunk of damage. We do not get the special attack drop. But the biggest thing here is we have to get his Tornadus out so that we can mitigate this with Miraidon of our own and also Landorus. We have our own Miraidon and we also have Landorus to beat his own Miraidon and whatever other Pokemon that he has brought with him today. I do decide that Moonblast from this range will definitely take out the Tornadus. Oh, we targeted into the Miraidon. That is not what I thought I did. Maybe I'm a turn ahead of myself when I'm going for the Protect on the Landers, thinking that he's going to Draco Meteor the oncoming Miraidon or also the Landorus slot to go ahead and knock it out in one hit. With that electric terrain on the field, it will definitely be enough to knock out Landorus, and I have to be very, very careful of that. Oh, that's what I do. He's still got Tailwind up. That's what I'm doing. That makes sense now. So he does bring in the Raichu here, as the Tailwind has one more turn, which is why I decide to protect with Landorus, just to get that Tailwind out of the way. And I know on this turn I need to attack. We do attack into the Raichu. The Moonblast goes into the Raichu, and his special attack is dropped, even with the electric terrain, with the air balloon gone, and also that is going to drop this thing down. Of course, Landers protects itself on the Bleakwind Storm, and Whimsicott has some ninja ghostly haunting skills and is able to evade that, as my Tailwind actually peters out now. And that actually doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I guess because my Tailwind still had another turn and now his Tailwind has a turn. So my thought process is, he can't Tailwind on his last turn of Tailwind. So realistically, Miraidon cannot be hurt by Raichu in any way. He's already terastallized, so he doesn't have like a fairy Raichu to come in and deal with Miraidon, so that's good. So since I've already seen his terastallization, Miraidon can come in here for free. I don't fear Bleakwind. I don't fear any electric type attack from the Raichu, as now the Bleakwind Storm is going to come through. Whimsicott's going to live it on 22 HP. Here comes the Nuzzle, but because of that special attack drop, even in the electric terrain, it is not enough to drop me. And now his Tornadus goes down, and I've pretty much sealed the game in my favor, as now my Tailwind will be the only one on the field after his peters out on this turn. What that means is that now I no longer have to match speed tie with Miraidon. I can now set up my Tailwind and knock out his Miraidon with the Dragon Pulse. Even though he's not in the Dragon typing, that residual damage is very, very important for bringing him down to this range, and it will bring just Landorus into Raichu. Miraidon can also wear down Raichu as well, but having that Tailwind initiative and being able to have it on my side of the field and getting rid of his, I knew I had to mitigate against Tailwind at the beginning of this match when I saw Xander's team, because Miraidon alongside Raichu boosted with Tailwind to boost each other's special up, and then of course have extra special attacks. There are other coverage moves that Raichu can go for. He goes for the Feint, predicting the Protect, predicting me, I guess, not to Tailwind. I'm not sure there. I guess he predicted me not to Tailwind, or predicted him to possibly be able to outspeed and Draco Meteor me and knock off and Feint my Protect so that I wouldn't be able to protect the Draco Meteor. What a great play. What a great game with you, Xander. And now Raichu is left to face the Miraidon, and from this range, Dragon Pulse plus Moonblast will be able to take you out. Plus I have a Landorus boosted in Tailwind. So thank you so much for the games, Xander. In all of the generations we've played, thank you so much for being such a good opponent and being so good at this game. Just a joy to battle with you guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed the music. I hope you guys have enjoyed the game. I am back to work after all the time that I've been out with my back. Thank you guys so much for all of your support on the streams, for streaming the World Championship and everything moving forward and trading cards. You guys are incredible. Thank you for the new subs. Thank you for the new watchers. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care. And until next time, power on, power off.